what are the next steps for the Labour Party?
Oh, it's got to buck up its ideas, hasn't it? That's the top and bottom of it. It's got to look to the future and provide hope. Because what you say is, you just voting for voting's sake is not good enough, and people just won't do it. And it's always like the Labour Party has always had a tougher gig. It's a much easier argument to defend the status quo. To literally, I think people also forget this, that the Conservatives, to us, it's just like the name of they literally seek to conserve power where it is. It is to conserve things as they are. And I think that even though it's in their name, that gets lost quite a lot. And so the Labour Party has always had a tougher gig in trying to push forward for progress. But it's become too timid, in my view, doing that. And we need to just be like painfully hopeful about where people live and painfully hopeful about the future. And just inspire people, actually, because it's very hard when you're in opposition, is the realities, because my job is to moan.
Yeah.
It's my job to moan about what's happening. But you know what? It's really tedious for people to just listen to people moaning about how everything's bad all the time. It's a bit like being Linus in Snoopy, just dragging around a blanket, being like, "Oh, everything's so bad." Actually, you want to be Charlie Brown, and you want to be like, we're going to go out and we're going to make this better. And that is, I think, because Boris Johnson is a total fraudster, but he's a cheerful one.
But okay, here's my point on this. The last 12 months have demonstrated stupidity to an unbelievable level, right? I've had people who are my friends who are who I will say who've done a 360 and witnessed exactly some of the decisions and some of the things that have happened, and yet they still want. There was one poll where where NHS staff or care staff actually were still voting. And I gave up at that point.
You shouldn't give up, but I can see why.
I was like, I just don't understand what it's going to take.
Yeah, the thing is what it's going to take is a better alternative.
Yeah,
that's all. It's not that those people think that what has happened is acceptable or that things are fine. They don't. The Labour Party has to present a better alternative, and actually, it's providing an alternative at the moment, but people don't believe that would necessarily be better, and so it's a sort of better the devil you know situation. But you don't be disheartened by the people thinking that, because that way lies madness. Some people are wrong, just fundamentally, but the vast majority are not, and blame the political class and for that. Totally. I will try and say, actually, some of this is on you sometimes, but actually, we've not been a good enough alternative. We don't deserve. I think John Smith, who the anniversary of his death was this week, actually, who became the leader of the Labour Party before Tony Blair, but he died suddenly, and so that's why Tony Blair took over. He said, all I ask is for the privilege to serve, is that you trust us enough to serve. And that is what the Labour Party has got to do. It's got to believe that it has to ask to serve. We don't deserve it.
Yeah.
It's not something that we deserve just because we're righter than we're better and nicer, which, let's face it, we are better and nicer. I have no doubt about that. But that's not enough. We've got to earn the right to serve and govern. And we haven't yet earned it. So we better crack on with that.